The first time I watched someone die online, it looked like shitpost bait. I was half asleep, slumped in my chair, scrolling be like always. Brain fried, eyes dry, lights off, just that pale glow and hum of the fan. I wasn't there in any real sense. Just clicking, refreshing, letting garbage flow through my head. The thread title dropped in the middle of frog pics and porn dumps. Gonna end him tonight's stream? I snorted. Same edgelord crap as always. I clicked because of course I did. Opie's pics looked like every shitty student apartment I'd ever seen. Monster cans stacked like trophies, greasy controller on the floor, stained futon. And in the corner of the frame, a bare leg. That was it. No face, no drama. Just a leg lying there like part of the mess. I barely noticed it at first. Replies were pure autopilot. KYS fake and gay. Pepes spam. Someone dropped timestamp with spoon like a reflex. It all blurred together. I joined in, typed something like you won't hit post without thinking. It felt like background noise more than a decision. Then Opie posted another photo. Same room, same piles of crap, same leg, but the angle changed. You could see duct tape wrapped tight around the ankle. Gray against skin. The foot just hung there loose like it didn't belong to anyone anymore. No blur, no motion. The thread flipped fast. Half of Anons screamed LARP, started pointing out shadows and JPEG artifacts like CSI for Chan. The other half went feral. Base do it. End him content time. You could feel the bloodlust ramp up through text. Amid all that noise, a few people try to be human. Someone posted hotline numbers. One guy circled dark marks on the calf and wrote, "Those are bruises, dude." Another Anon claimed he recognized the poster ID from self-harm thread months back. Said Opie had posted cuts and pills before. It stopped being a joke and turned into a tug-of-war between "dude, this is fake" and "do it for the stream." Nobody talked about the guy on the floor like he was a person. He was it, a probe. Then Opie dropped coordinates. Not full GPS, but close. City, district, 2 cross streets. The exact kind of detail that's just believable enough to fuck with your head. He added, "Bet you won't call." I opened a new tab and Googled them. Street view spun around, and there it was, a row of washed out houses, patchy grass, sagging fences. Not a horror movie set, just the kind of place you don't look at twice. Some Anon from that city chimed in. "Looks like my neighborhood," laughing my ass off. People jumped on him. "You call." "No, you call." "Use Skype, bro." A few said they'd reported it to FBI, like that meant anything. Nobody posted proof of shit. I hovered over my local police site in another tab. There was a tip form. It asked for my name, phone number, address. I pictured some cop rolling his eyes at guy on floor. Maybe duct tape, maybe joke from anonymous image board where everyone says kill yourself as a meme. I picture my info saved in some file labeled Internet Psycho. I told myself it was fake. If I called, I'd waste their time. I'd sound like a freak. Someone closer would handle it. Cops probably already on it. 1,000 excuses, all lined up and ready. So I didn't call. I just kept watching. Opie posted one last image. Same room. You saw the leg first, twisted at a wrong angle, hip turned in like it had been yanked hard. There was a black trash bag near the head, tied off tight, no face visible. No eyes, no expression. Just that shiny plastic and a piece of still skin. File name was a timestamp and done. No comment. The board went insane. Anon started making edits within seconds. Sunglasses on the leg, deal with it text, low effort memes. Others screamed fake, started drawing lines on the picture to prove the shadows were wrong. Some tried to play detective, zooming in on the rug pattern, matching it to IKEA, arguing about whether the trash bag brand existed in that city. A few people still begged everyone to call the cops. I did, they didn't care, one said. Maybe he did. Maybe that was another performance. Hard to tell. Everything looked like content by then, even panic. Opie went silent. No victory lap, no got you, no more pics. Just nothing. The thread burned hot for a while and then cooled. It slipped down the catalog, bumped, less and less, and finally 404D like every other stupid thing we'd ever posted. In my head, that was proof it was fake. If it were real, something big would happen, right? Mods would nuke it. News would break. There'd be some official stamp saying, yes, this has weight. That never came. So I filed it under sick troll and went on with my life. I watched some YouTube, answered a couple emails, scrolled Twitter. My brain threw that leg image of me once or twice, and I batted it away with fake like swatting a fly. Around 4 in the morning, I shut down the browser and crawled into bed. 2 days later, someone started a new thread. No memes in the OP this time, just a local news link pasted raw. Same city, same district. Headline, unidentified male found deceased in residence. Possible homicide, roommate missing. My chest tightened. I clicked. Short article, barely a paragraph. No name, no photos, just ongoing investigation. In the replies, some anon had already grabbed Street View of the house and put it next to OP's first pic from the original thread. The window layout matched. Same narrow frame. Same cheap curtains slumped to one side. Even the weird tilt of the AC unit under the window looked identical. Someone dropped a screenshot of the old thread underneath. It showed almost the entire thing before it got wiped. I started scrolling through the caps, half hoping they'd look different now, that my memory had exaggerated it. Then I saw my own post. Same ID, same shitty comment, right there between "do it" and a hentai reaction image. Frozen. Logged. Proof that I'd been there, laughing along, calling a stranger's life content. I stared at it until my eyes watered. The letters looked like they belonged to someone else, someone dumber and meaner. But no, that was me. Same patterns, same tone. I could practically feel the moment I typed it, the casual flick of my fingers, zero weight behind it. I didn't say anything in that new thread. Didn't confess, didn't argue. I just watched people fight over the same bullshit. Fake, real, LARP, PSYOP. One guy insisted the cops plant stories like this to scare shitposters. Another said it was all an ARG for some horror game. No one agreed on anything, because agreeing would mean admitting we'd watched something unforgivable and treated it like a fucking TV show. I started checking that news page every day, refreshing like it was my job. No update. No arrest. No follow-up. The article sat there with the same vague lines. The case dropped under newer stories. Car crashes, petty theft, weather alerts. That dead guy disappeared into the backlog of the real world, while his leg and our comments lived on in screenshots. And those screenshots keep floating. They hit other boards, other sites. Every few months, someone reposts them as classic internet mystery or proof this board is fucked. New people argue all over again about whether it's staged. They zoom the leg, they joke about the trash bag, they quote lines from the thread. My post is still in there. Anonymous, but permanent. I scroll past it and feel my stomach twist, but I still scroll. I still use the same boards. I still shitpost. I still tell myself I'd do something different next time, even though I don't fully believe that. I know it wasn't fake. I remember how quiet my room felt after I finally closed the tab. I remember that I slept fine anyway. I didn't start posting on 4chan as some tortured soul. I was just bored and petty. The first time I used it to hurt someone, it felt like a joke that went further than it should have. There was this guy at work, Mark. He wasn't evil, just smug. He talked over me, cut me off in meetings, forwarded my emails to our boss with following up on this idea, like it came out of his own skull. That kind of corporate bullshit where nobody outright lies, they just quietly erase you. The promotion that year was basically promised to me. My manager hinted at it, performance review went great, I did all the right ass-kissing without feeling too dirty. Then the announcement email goes out, and it's his name. Congrats to Mark on his new role. Everyone reacts with those stupid clap emojis. I read it 3 times, waiting for the part where they also mention me. Nothing. I watched him walk over to my desk that afternoon with that fake humble grin. No hard feelings, he said. I smiled back and said the right words, but something just flipped. I realized nobody was coming to fix this. There wasn't going to be some fair HR investigation into who did the work. The system liked him more, so he won. End of story. Only it wasn't. That night, I sat at my kitchen table with a cheap beer and my laptop and just stewed. No big breakdown, no crying. Just this dull, steady rage. My hands moved on their own. New tab for Chan B. I used to lurk there when I was bored, scroll past porn and gore and edgy jokes, then close the window and go to bed like everyone else. This time I wanted to see what happened if I poked it. So I went to B and wrote a story thread. Ask me anything about working with a child predator. That was my opening line. No proof, no plan, just spite. They bit fast. A couple of OP is full of shit posts, then the real ones, screens or it didn't happen, drop socials, city. They wanted a target. At first I played coy, said I couldn't share too much because of HR. That almost killed the thread. So I changed gears and pretended to crack. I wrote like some guilty whistleblower. I can't live with myself, they protected him, all that. I dropped his first name, Mark, then the city. Then I screenshotted his LinkedIn, cropped it so you saw his face and shirt but not the company or last name, and posted it like, this is the type of guy I mean. That's all it took. Anons did the rest. It was like watching termites eat a house. Someone reversed the image, found the full profile in minutes. Another cross-checked his school, dragged his full name and company into the thread. Then came his wife's Facebook, family photos, kids, their school from some PDA post. None of that was my idea. I just watched it happen. Then some psycho started fabricating DMs, fake screenshots of Mark flirting with a teenager. They used his real profile pic, matched the way he typed from his public posts. I knew it was fake, obviously. I helped cause it. But when I looked at those screenshots, my stomach still dropped. If someone sent you that, you'd believe it. You'd call the cops. People started bragging, emailed his boss, sending this to the police, posting in local FB groups. It stopped being my lie and turned into this rabid group project. Nobody asked if it was true. They just liked the show. Next morning, he came in late and white as paper. He kept unlocking his phone under the desk, staring at it like it might explode. Around 10, HR showed up at his door and asked him to come with him. He tried to joke, but his voice shook. He didn't come back that day. By lunch, facilities were boxing his stuff. No goodbye email, no farewell cake. His name quietly vanished from the org chart the week after. Official line was violation of conduct policy. Nobody said the words child porn out loud, but you could see it in how people lowered their voices when they mentioned him. Docile little me played dumb. HR never called me in. Why would they? From their side, it probably looked simple. Sudden online accusations lining up with whatever random complaints they already had in a folder. They connected dots I drew for them. On B, the thread died like all threads die. After a day or two, it turned to porn, gore, some guys spamming frogs. A handful of anons posted updates. Laughing my ass off as LinkedIn is gone, fucker got wiped, stuff like that. Then it slipped off the board and disappeared. The rush lasted 3 days. I kept checking the news, Google stalking his name, refreshing the thread, even after at 4:04 like an addict tapping an empty vein. I told myself I just wanted closure, but honestly, I wanted to see him completely ruined. Mugshot, obituary, something. Instead, life went back to normal. For me, anyway. Months later, I'm on B again, half asleep, scrolling. Someone makes a thread about cancel culture wrecking innocent men. I almost skip it, then I see a familiar last name on a blurry Facebook screenshot. It's his wife. Long public post about anonymous monsters online, false accusations. Our kids can't go back to their school. My husband can't get hired because Googling his name brings up disgusting lies. She talks about how he's not perfect, but not a monster, how their family gets death threats now. She begs people to stop sharing the fake screenshots. Anons laugh. They crop her profile picture, rate her body, call her crazy, insult the kids. Someone reposts the same fake DMs from my old thread like it's brand new evidence. No one there remembers I started it. To them, it's just another piece of content. I lay there in the dark with my phone over my face and felt nothing at first. Then this slow, sour dread. I thought about messaging her from some burner account, telling her the truth. It started as a lie because I hated him. I pictured her reading that, maybe showing it to a lawyer, maybe printing it and pinning it to the wall and stabbing it with a knife. I didn't send anything. I locked my phone, stared at the ceiling, and told myself a new story instead. He probably did something else, something nobody knows about. World's full of creeps. Maybe this just dragged him into the light. That's the version I use when I need to sleep. Here's what really stuck with me though. After that, whenever someone at work pissed me off, I felt this twitch in my fingers. New project manager schedules, 5 p.m. Friday meetings? My brain immediately writes a new thread title. Guy forgets to CC me and takes credit. I picture his wedding photos getting torn apart by the same people I unleashed. I haven't done it again, but not because I grew a conscience or found Jesus or whatever. I haven't done it because I know now exactly how easy it is. How one bored, bitter person with a grudge can point a crowd at you and walk away before the impact hits. Every time I open that site, I see posts like the one I made. Ask me anything about working with a rapist. I have proof this teacher is a pervert, endless story threads. Some are lies, some are true, a lot are half and half. You scroll past them and think, edgy, and keep going. And if you think I'm some outlier, you're wrong. You've scrolled past people like me on B and thought, edgy. You have no idea how real some of us are. I stopped posting my face anywhere years ago. Not because of some grand awakening, just because of one X thread that got too close. It was one of those post your room, we'll tell you what's wrong with it games. Stupid, harmless. People dumped photos of their messy bedrooms, announced circled shadows, screamed, "There's someone behind you," drew eyes and reflections. All bullshit, all pareidolia, but it killed time when you're half asleep and too wired to log off. Around 2 a.m. my time, Opie added a twist. New rule, he wrote. Post a picture. I'll tell you something you never told anyone. I knew it was a trick. Cold reading, vague statements. I'd watched fake psychics do that shit my whole life. Toss out distant dad, guilty about a pet, let people connect the dots and do the work for you. I want to prove it. So I took what I thought was a safe shot. Quick picture of my desk, monitor, keyboard, half-empty mug, part of my forearm. No face, no posters, no calendar, no mirror, no family photos. Plain wall, cheap desk, that's it. I scrubbed the EXIF with a tool I'd use 100 times. Double-checked it. I actually felt smug about how careful I was, like I was about to speedrun debunking this guy in front of everyone. A few minutes later, Opie replied to my image. Third ID, the chipped mug, he wrote. You pushed a kid down the stairs when you were 8 and never said sorry. At first I laughed. One quick, ugly sound. It was so specific it wrapped around to ridiculous. Then the laugh died halfway out of my throat because my brain didn't need to search for a match. It already had one ready. When I was 8, I shoved my cousin. We were at my aunt's house. Stupid fight about a toy or a turn on the console. Voices high. That hot kid rage boiling up. He grabbed for it. I yanked back. He called me a name, and I pushed him. Full force. I remember the feeling in my palms more than the reason. I wanted him to fall. That part is the worst. I wanted it. He toppled down 3 steps, hit the landing, screamed. Broke his wrist, knocked a tooth out. Blood everywhere, adults running. Everyone yelling accident, and rough housing, and boys will be boys. I cried and said we were playing. They believed me. I never said, I meant it. I never told anyone I did it on purpose. And I never told them I was sorry. We just grew up. He healed, I moved on, except I didn't, not really. I try to rationalize it. People shove kids. People fall. Opie could have thrown that out and gotten a hit eventually. My hands were already a little sweaty, but I kept telling myself it was luck. Then Opie posted again. You still see his face when you stand at the top of any staircase. You grip the railing, right? that took the floor out from under me more than the first one. Because, yeah, every time I hit the top of staircase, any staircase, my hand grabs the rail. Automatic. Doesn't matter if it's 3 steps or 20, my brain flashes that moment. His legs folding, his head whipping back, the sound of the fall. I grip the railing and wait a second before moving. Been doing that since I was a kid. Never said that out loud to anyone. Not once. The thread slowed. You know that silence when you say something too real in a group chat and everyone stops typing? It felt like that. Posts rolled a little slower, like people were reading my call out and waiting for me to react. My picture sat there with this ugly spotlight on it. Staircase psycho, jokes starting under it. I almost replied. I typed nice guess and deleted it. Typed, you're full of shit, and deleted that too. Anything I said would just feed them. Opie moved on to other photos. Most of his secrets were generic. You hate your job. You're scared of dying alone. You stole from a friend. People screamed, he got me. Others called bullshit. Regular circus. But my post stayed near the top because assholes kept quoting it and adding their little punchlines. Reading strangers turn your worst moment into meme material feels different from guilt. Smaller. Dirtier. About 10 minutes later, Opie posted again with my file name attached. He'd taken my image, zoomed into the black plastic of my monitor bezel, and circled something. Reflections in that strip showed a warped slice of my torso and the doorway behind me. I hadn't even noticed there was a reflection there. In the circle part, the gap of the doorway looked a shade lighter, like a blurry shape standing there, about kid height. He's shorter now, isn't he? Oh, brote. I alt-tabbed out of instinct and looked at my actual doorway. Just a hall, dark, empty. The cheap door I never finished painting. No cousin, no ghost kid, nothing. I still got up and walked over like a fucking idiot. Hand on the knob, heart pounding, opened it fast. Hallway. Silence. I stood there breathing too hard, feeling completely insane over pixels. While I checked like an idiot, the thread spun up again. Holy shit. OP real as fuck. Staircase guy, post timestamp. People dissected my reflection, zoomed it, adjusted contrast, claimed they saw a face, a smile, a shadow, whatever. Everyone wanted to be the first to see something. Then OP dropped the last post about me. It wasn't a sentence. It was a location. City, intersection, train stop, with the code number at the end like it was copied straight from a map app. Close enough to my actual station that my body recognized it before my brain did. I use that stop every day. Same platform, same vending machines, same grimy tiles. Under the coordinates, he wrote, "He doesn't forgive you. He'll wait by the tracks." That line felt colder than the rest. Not, you feel guilty, not you're scared. Just a statement, like a weather report. I stared at it for a long time. I told myself it was a lucky guess. Maybe I'd posted something years ago that hinted at my city. Maybe the ad block failed and some IP-based location slipped through. Maybe he lived near me and recognized something stupid in the background, like the model of my outlet or the style of the molding. I stacked maybe on top of maybe until it almost felt stable. Then I closed the browser and I shut the PC down. Next morning, a train hit someone at that station. I didn't see it. I was still in bed, phone in my hand, trying to decide if I was sick enough in the head to justify calling out of work. Notification came in about delays on my line. I opened it, saw service suspended due to police activity. Refreshed, got a local news article. Person struck by train. They called an accident. No name, just male, age vague, condition unknown. One blurry photo of paramedics and a white sheet. Time of incident. Same minute OP posted the coordinates. I checked the thread. It was gone. Deleted, nuked, whatever. Error page. I didn't go to work. I turned my phone face down, sat on the floor, back against the opposite wall from my desk, and tried to logic my way out of it. Maybe the time was off. Maybe the article used the time the reporters got there, not when it happened. Maybe OP was at the fucking station and just got off on watching someone die and went online to make it spooky. Dark coincidences happen. People die on train tracks every day. My brain didn't care. It kept replaying that fall. Stairs, then tracks. Child me pushing once. Adult me pushed back from some direction I couldn't see. For a week, I flinched at every train sound, even on videos. I didn't go near the station. I took buses, then cabs, then nothing because I stopped leaving the apartment unless I had to. Nights got bad. I close my eyes and see that circled shape in the doorway. Clearer each time. Some nights I get halfway to sleep and feel hands low on my back, right above my hips, like someone lining up another shove. A week later, another X thread popped up. Different ID, same game. Post your room. I'll tell you what you never told anyone. I told myself not to click. I clicked anyway. First reply wasn't a new picture. It was an old screenshot. My desk, my mug, my arm. Compressed to hell, artifacts everywhere, but still recognizably mine. Somebody had saved it. Caption: this one still hasn't apologized. The OP didn't tag me. Couldn't. They'd never know my name. Users under it laughed, asked for an update, called me a murderer, called it LARP. Some swore they remembered the original thread. Others said it was fake. For a second, my fingers hovered over the keys. I actually started to type, "I'm sorry." Not to my cousin, to a thread, to a bunch of bored strangers. I deleted it and closed the tab. I moved twice since then. New city, new commute, no stairs in my apartment. I picked the place partly because of that. I'm not going to lie. Ground floor, flat hallway, elevator in the building, but I barely use it. I stand far back from the edge of platforms now, way behind the yellow line, pressed against the wall like a coward. I don't post pictures. I cover my webcam with tape. I unplug my monitor when I sleep so the black plastic doesn't show anything back at me. Doesn't matter. Someone saved that image. Someone remembers what I did, even if they never knew my name.